Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And this is the show. You are the show, so thank you for joining us. First off, I want to say two things very quickly. Two of them are announcements. Number one, we were telling you to hold off on subscribing or anything like that until we figured out what Twitch was going to do in December, because they were talking about doing some sort of promotion like Subtemper.
Oh, yeah.
Where they discount subscriptions and bits and all of that stuff. However, scratch that. Ignore all of that. Because what they're going to do is they're actually waiting until, I think, December 13th or 15th to kick off any sort of promotion for the end of the year. And we're basically done on December 15th.
Because like us, most Twitch streamers don't stream the very end of the year.
During the holidays.
Same thing. They're traveling, all of it. We're all in the same boat. So Twitch is trying to make people work over the holidays.
Yeah.
And do this incentive, kind of like they did with Hype Challenge. Do this incentive to get streamers to continue to stream for the platform to make money. And we're not going to do it.
We ain't doing that. We're going to enjoy our time off, as should you, around the holidays. I was looking at the wrong camera. So if you feel like subscribing, if you feel like gifting bits, any of that stuff, feel free to do that today. You don't have to. It's cool if you don't. But we do have some more of the wellness shots.
Do we? We hope there's some left.
Yeah, there was a bunch in there. Okay. So we have more wellness shots if we do get to level 5 of the hype train. So we will we'll rip those things since we are in the middle of, or towards the end of No Nonsense November. The other announcement is an apology. I need to apologize to both Jen and Lisa.
Why?
Who are in the chat, obviously, every day. Because I picked up food from them, cookies from them, because they have their little side hustle where they're baking for Old Times Bake.
We're going to fix that.
What?
The statement you just made, I need you to fix it.
Oh, not little, their side hustle? Not little side hustle?
It's their business.
No, it is their side hustle.
But we don't say little in front.
You had a whole thing called Side Hustlers.
I'm aware, but you don't call it a little.
That's why I just said I took it back.
Okay.
But it is a side hustle,
yeah, but
yes?
you can say it's a business, though.
They have, okay. Anyway, that's not the point of what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
The cookies that I picked up were fantastic. But I realized after they were all gone on Thanksgiving, I didn't take one single picture, one single post, nothing.
What?
Yeah. Well, I got them, and then I drove for like 2 hours to get, or an hour and a half to get home. And then.
And you didn't eat a single one in the car?
No, I didn't. It's No Nonsense November. I've learned how to control myself. No, I didn't have one. I only had one of those cookies. I ordered 3 dozen, and I only had one of them.
I've had like 6 pumpkin squares.
Oh. No, I've also only had one pumpkin square.
What does this mean?
Miguel
in Miami has gifted 1,000 bits. Oh, just now.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it light up like that.
So Twitch is changing some things in the chat where if you gift a certain amount of bits, you can pin your own comment to the top of the chat. So thank you, Miguel in Miami, Florida. Appreciate you. So I just want to apologize to them for not posting anything because the cookies were delicious. They also went very quickly.
Well, you also brought some to my family.
Yeah.
And they loved them.
Did they post? Assholes. I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm making sure my whole family knows you called them assholes.
That's fine. No, they were delicious, and I'll probably order more for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get them for my cousins.
So then I'll definitely post because that was not kind of me to not post. Anyway, what else do we have? I'm looking in the chat real quick. Those were my 2 announcements. Number 1, if you feel like subscribing right now, there's no need to wait anymore. I was having everyone wait till the first week of December. The second announcement was apology to Jen and Lisa and Old Times Bake. Their very large side hustle. Not their little side hustle. Carla Marie, what do you got?
On my list?
Yeah.
Well,
just start talking. It's okay.
The whole list.
Oh, rivalries is fun.
Animal Rescuer and Thanksgiving 2023.
That's true. You had a crazy weekend.
Yeah. It involved It involved an ER and an urgent care visit. We'll get to that in a moment. Thanksgiving 2023. So a quick recap. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. Cool. Just very, I wouldn't call it traditional, very normal Thanksgiving.
How did your Pokemon
that's true. I did
go with the kids?
So I was at Target a couple days before Christmas, and a couple of my little cousins are big Pokemon fans, and bigger cousins are also Pokemon fans. So I bought a ton of Pokemon cards. I think total, they were probably like 15 or 16 individually packed decks that I bought. Just in case extra kids wanted them. I didn't know which kids liked Pokemon, which kids didn't. There were a lot there. And I sat, the big Pokemon fans, I sat down, and then a lot of the ones that I was unsure of were some of the older girls. And I went up to them and said, "Are you guys Pokemon fans?" They said, "Well, we like the cute ones." And I said, "All right, well, come on over."
I love them.
So,
who's cute to them? Is
Jigglypuff?
Not Pikachu, I bet.
Jigglypuff, they like the pink ones.
So not Pikachu. So you're telling me they don't think Pikachu is cute?
No, that one of them did mention Pikachu.
Where is Pikachu?
At the house.
Okay, he's got to come here.
But anyway, so I took a bunch of the kids and then my 2 brothers and my cousin Jamil, all in their 30s. We all sat around the table and everyone opened up their individual pack in turn. And then we all got to like comment on the cards. And it was a lot of fun.
Ooh,
yeah. And then my cousin Ryan taught me how you're supposed to like reveal a pack of Pokemon cards. There's, I think, the top 3 you're not supposed to look at right away. You put them in the back.
Why?
Because the way that the Pokemon cards are packed, I guess the third one is normally like one of the biggest cards.
So it's like
or
doing
the best
a haul?
cards.
Do you have to do this behind it?
No, you have to like open the pack in a specific way though. Anyway, you position them in a way where your last card is like your biggest card. Okay. So that it's better for the TikTok algorithm and the YouTube algorithm. So I think I meant to record a video with him showing me how to do it. I think we're going to do that around Christmas because I got some extra packs.
I wish I still had those. My dad used to buy me Disney movie cards from someone at work that was selling them. 100%, probably not legal.
Yeah, whatever.
But like he used to come home, but then he would also be like, "You can only open 1 pack." But where are the ones we didn't open?
None of those can be valuable, right?
No,
like they're.
But could you imagine I have like a Disney card that like gets me one night in Cinderella's castle?
Is that how they did it?
I don't know.
Okay, just made up your own thing.
Never know.
But yeah, the Pokemon thing went really, really well.
What do you call it? You should call it something.
The Pokemon round table, although we were at a rectangular table.
Like the Pokemon holiday extravaganza.
I'm definitely going to do it again next year.
Not Christmas.
No,
I
not
guess Christmas. There's not really kids.
Well, no, there are, but there's other gifts.
Yeah.
And I think all the parents appreciated it because all the kids were in one area for almost like an hour and not screaming or doing anything crazy, although all the kids were pretty good.
That's cool.
And then we did have one Thanksgiving football injury. And it wasn't me, thankfully. Although I did.
That like one of the biggest ER days outside of Wednesday because of this week, because car accidents and drunk driving, and New Year's Eve.
It's got to be.
Because old men decide to play football just like they used to back in the day, and then they have heart attacks.
Yeah. So we originally started because 2 of my cousins who are 13 and 15 brought a football. So we were just tossing the football around.
From Florida?
Yeah. And it turned into me trying to teach them how to run routes properly because one of them plays football all the time, but he's a lineman, so he's not running routes well. And then the other one plays soccer. So like running routes and what you're supposed to do in soccer is very different than football.
Of course.
So I'm teaching them how to run routes and stuff like that. What, Carla Marie?
Oh, you said you were with your cousin Jamil.
Yeah.
Fred said, "Gotta catch Jamal." Like, gotta catch them all.
No, Jamil. But it started as me teaching them how to like run routes and throw passes to them. Then my brother and my cousin got involved, so it turned into me being the quarterback since I shouldn't be running and passing some like kind of going up the field with just the 2 pairs. Then it turned into 3-on-3 football with me as the quarterback. Then it turned into 3 of the dads jumping in.
And how did you split them up?
It was dads versus their sons.
Oh, how'd that go?
It went fine. No one got injured in that game. But right before they jumped in, my dad and my uncle are talking about how both of their backs are messed up. My dad has to go for like chiropractic massage for 2 hours every week.
Oh,
my uncle might have surgery. Next thing you know, they're on the football field. And apparently none of them have run in a very long time because not that they were slow. They just didn't look like they've ever run before. They looked like baby giraffes getting out and trying to sprint as fast as they could. My dad was running with high knees. Like his knees were hitting his chin, I think, while he was running. which was impressive.
But do you think they ever ran like they knew what they were doing? How do you lose that?
I know my uncle Musa used to play soccer a lot, so he had to run at some point.
Can I beat them all in a race?
My dad's legs were faster than I thought they'd be, but probably.
All right,
it was something. So that happens, right? Dads play, kids play, and then all of a sudden my cousin Mark and my cousin's husband Brad jump in as well. So now we're doing like 4-on-4 football.
You definitely needed an in-game host there for this.
We should have. I ended up sprinting a couple times, which I probably shouldn't have, especially on.
How did it feel?
Felt pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, granted, I was just running routes against the 13-year-old, so I was okay. But this is where the injury took place. The way that my uncle's backyard is set up, it is pretty long. It's out in Bernardsville, New Jersey. And towards the side of the yard where the house is, there are some planters, some wooden built into the ground planters. The first small planter is maybe, I don't know, a foot off the ground. And then it has like the wire frames for the tomatoes, right?
Yes.
And then a couple feet behind that, there's a much taller planter. No wires for tomatoes on that one. And my cousin Mark, I guess the way it was positioned, there were people in front of him running routes, right? So he didn't see the planters and launches a pass to Brad, my cousin's husband. It sails over Brad. He's still trying to make the attempt. He's trying to complete the attempt though. He runs directly through the tomato wire frames. And as he's trying to stop himself from the second planter, he took it from like his shoulder and his whole arm was messed up. It didn't break, thankfully.
The planter or his arm?
Neither. Okay. But it was a sound you did not want to hear. But apparently his whole arm is black and blue now, and he had like a cut directly across his arm from hitting the corner of the planter.
Like what quarterback did that happen to?
Tua?
Was that Tua?
That was Tua, yeah.
Yeah,
but no,
half his skin is missing.
That was more of like a little patch that went missing. This was his whole arm just completely black and blue. But no one went to the hospital, thankfully.
Oh.
So I think in terms of Turkey Day football, we did a good job. I think next year I'm going to try to plan an actual game.
No, because it's not as fun when they're planned.
No, it is. We used to do it all the time. You got to remember, I'm one of 30-something cousins. So
draft?
No, you usually just like match up, right? Like if we were all matching up one-on-one, I'd probably be across from my brother Michael.
Where's Justin?
Justin's actually very good at football.
I know.
Justin's good at actual tackle football.
You're not going to do that.
No,
you should get flag. You should play flag football.
We could. We usually just do touch. We used to play full-on tackle when we were younger, all of our cousins. And it was like us, our friends from church, full-on. People would get lit up.
It's not fun for me. I'd rather have it with the pads on.
But yeah, my brother Justin's actually, when it comes to high school football, definitely had the best career out of any of us.
Is he in your school Hall of Fame?
He had a record. I don't know if it still is there. But the problem is he's a lineman, a defensive lineman. And he's very good at that, or was very good at that in high school. But those skills don't necessarily transfer over to non-tackle football. Because it's not like he's got great hands. He's not the fastest out there. He's not going to catch a bunch of passes. But if you want him to like lay someone out, he can do that.
Well, my Thanksgiving was also full of football, and the real kind, with the people that get paid to do it.
That's true.
the big bucks. But I did not play football. I did nothing active. Well, I guess I did.
Explain what happened. They had like a football. Did you eat with the team? Was there like a big football Thanksgiving dinner?
No. So at Lumen Field on Thanksgiving, it was the same as it is for every other game, except our game was later. So normally we have breakfast and an omelet station. Mm-hmm. We had Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
But we had it was a turkey carving station, like when you go to weddings and there's like the meat carving station. Yeah. So it was like fresh, like good turkey. Like it was probably the best turkey I've ever had. So that was awesome. Then they had mini little pies, and it was like just miniature pecan pie or miniature pumpkin pies. But the coolest thing, it was by far, obviously, I've had great Thanksgivings with my family. It was the coolest Thanksgiving meal I've ever had because I had lunch with 2 Germans. Mm-hmm. So
they were celebrating Thanksgiving as well?
My co-host Andre and I were in the elevator going to lunch with this guy, and he's like, and he looks at our name tags. He goes, "Entertainment. What does that mean?" And I was like, "Oh, we're the in-game host." He's like, "Oh, cool." And he has a camera and a mic. He's like, "I work for RTR. It's a German network."
RTR.
And we're like, "What? Cool." So we're like, obviously it's just an elevator ride. So we're like, "That's so cool." And then we go our separate ways. And we see him in the lunchroom. And I was like, "Hey, if you want to sit with us, come on over." He's like, "Okay." And I was like, "This is so cool. We're gonna have like Thanksgiving with someone from another country. I love this." So his name is Marcus. Yes, he had an accent, and he's talking to us about how he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna call my reporter. I need to get her in here because I think you guys need to meet." So he calls her and he starts speaking in German. And the only thing I hear is turkey and wonderful. He was talking about us when he said wonderful. So he brings in Johanna. She is gorgeous and so nice. And they start telling us how their network, RTR, has the rights for NFL games for 5 years.
Okay.
But their whole network now is essentially NFL games, and they're trying to understand the content, aka sports with a Z, that surrounds the sport.
Okay.
Because the rest of their network is magazine style. It's not like hard-hitting news or any of it. And they were like, "If you could help us come up with ideas." And I was like, "You guys," I didn't tell them about sports with a Z, but it might need to be on there. But they actually both live in New York City now. They moved to America
For this football thing.
essentially, and they I guess do freelance for the station, but they've been there for 8 and 24 years. So they were super nice. Johanna and I were texting. She's the only person in my phone that has the what are the 2 dots over the U call? Umde.
I don't know.
She had me add it. It was such a
If it's not a tilde or an accent, I have no idea.
2 dots. Umlaut. Thank you.
Okay.
Umlaut. And they were just like the nicest. And I was like, in what world would I get to have Thanksgiving with like nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And he was like, "Yeah, I found the turkey." Because I guess it's not a normal thing that they eat in Germany. Not that it's not normal, but like they knew that this was like a big thing for us to have that day. So that was cool. And then we had the game. There was that whole part of my day. And Seahawks did not do so well.
No, they did not.
My side of things, the whole entertainment team, we rocked it. Like, we had the best time. Freaking Steve Aoki, I got to introduce him at halftime. It was so much fun. I got home, and then Amy from Seattle Cocktail Club, Saint, left me leftovers because I was starving. And I got on my PJs, sat on my couch, and ate my leftovers. And I was like, obviously wish I got to hang with my family today, but this was probably top Thanksgiving ever.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped by your family.
Yeah.
I stopped by your mom's house.
Great?
It didn't seem like they missed you, honestly. Everyone was enjoying themselves. So I don't think you were missed very much. No, I did. I stopped by and I gave a dozen of the DoubleTree style cookies to your family.
Yeah.
I hope they enjoyed them.
Huh?
Did they enjoy them? Did they say?
I said that already.
They told you they did? Or did you just make that up?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But the problem with Anthony going to my family's house is that no one knew except my mom, I guess. And they all thought that we were both coming back to surprise them.
Yeah,
so
probably was a letdown.
When Anthony walked in, they were all like staring at him. And didn't you say something like, "Why is everyone staring at me?"
No.
Oh, my mom, I had 3 people tell me that you said that.
No, I didn't say that.
3 different people were like, "Anthony said, why is everyone staring at me?"
No. I just, those words I don't think came out of my mouth.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can be trusted sometimes. You don't remember things.
Oh, maybe. Maybe they don't remember things. I don't know.
Also that.
There is something I do want to talk about, though. We're gonna wrap up the football talk here because one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving weekend is rivalry weekend in college football.
Yes.
If you know anything about me, I'm a much bigger college football fan than I am a fan of the NFL. I will clear my schedule to watch a college football game. If I happen to watch an NFL game, I will enjoy it, but I rarely clear my schedule. Like, even for my favorite team, the Raiders.
But you had the opportunity to go to the Apple Cup on Saturday, and you didn't.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
The game, I'll get to that in a second, looked a lot of fun. I landed the night before.
I mean, I get it.
And I did not want to be there for however many hours outdoors.
It wasn't cold.
I just didn't want to. I wanted to get things done. I was at the gym for 2.5 hours. Felt great.
That was actually something when we were talking about the weather earlier.
Yeah.
The sun was, we had the best seats because the sun was beating on us. I didn't even have to have my jacket on. I might have got a little tan.
So, rivalry week in college football, it's when you have games like Michigan and Ohio State. You have Washington State, the Apple Cup, Oregon State, which I believe used to be called the Civil War. I don't know if they call it that anymore.
Yeah.
Although you could still, I don't think that's that bad of a name. You could still call it the Civil War. What else is there? Georgia Tech is a big one. But Virginia Tech. Now, neither of the teams are good, but it is a big rivalry game for them. They're both in the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference. And Virginia Tech went on the road to Virginia and beat them. Now, keep in mind, neither of these teams are good, so all they have this season is this rivalry game.
But go Hokies.
Hokie. Yeah, the Virginia Tech Hokies. Virginia?
I don't know.
Cavaliers. Yeah, not cool. But Virginia Tech goes on the road, wins at Virginia.
Cool.
Okay? They celebrate. They go into the locker room. They come back out to take their final team picture of the year. In uniform. On their rival's field. And since they didn't want them taking the picture, the Virginia staff turned on the sprinklers while they were there. But
that's so much cooler than no sprinklers.
It's so petty and so phenomenal at the same time.
I think the fact that they were still in their uniforms actually is great. It's not like they all got changed and have to get on a bus back to school.
And listen, I love how petty it is.
It is so petty.
And I respect it.
I do.
I really do respect it because this isn't anything dangerous.
No.
Right? It's some water.
Now,
turn on the sprinklers. Phenomenal.
Do we have confirmation that they purposely turned them on, or that's just the time?
I bet you they're going to say that it was just timed so they don't get in trouble.
But who was that one person that was like...
But this is similar. There's a story about how a couple of years ago, and obviously Georgia's been very, very good recently. They're on almost a 30-game win streak or 29-game win streak right now. But before this, Vanderbilt, who was in the same conference as Georgia, they're in the SEC.
Okay.
Went on the road and won in Athens, Georgia, which is a very big deal. And I guess right after, almost immediately after the game ended, the Georgia Tech team, the technical team for Georgia, because Georgia Tech is a school, turned off all the scoreboards.
I remember
so that nobody could take pictures, celebratory pictures with the scoreboard behind them. And stuff like that is why I legitimately love college football. But here's the best part about this picture. The Virginia staff turning on the sprinklers when Virginia Tech tried to take a picture on their field. Look at the actual picture that came out.
Oh, sick.
It looks so much.
You didn't send it to the internet.
It looks so much cooler than a typical end of game picture.
There is a video and they loved it. They were just like, yeah.
Yeah. And this is the best part. That's my favorite thing about college football is when you break it down, and yes, there are still kids that play in professional sports, but these are legitimate college students.
But I feel like once you get to the NFL, those rivals aren't as, this is the most terrible word to use for it, but those rivals aren't as cute. They're not as fun. Yeah. They are more mean.
And also, it's meaner for the fans, unfortunately.
Yes. It's not it's safety school. No one's chanting that.
Yeah. And the players, for the most part, yes, I think they get more excited for certain games. But at the end of the day, players are aware that, the people across them are their coworkers, right? And you're probably going to play with one of those players across the way. There's a good chance you're going to jump from the 49ers to the Seahawks at some point.
Well, I think about that all the time with the game. So Bobby Wagner was a Seahawk.
Yeah.
And then he went to the Rams last year and was playing against the Seahawks. And him and DK were having it out on the line at the game last year. And you see him yelling at DK. He's like, come on, let's go. And now they're teammates.
Yeah.
Granted, they're never really
they were teammates before. Then they were rivals and teammates again.
Awkward.
I don't think it's awkward. I think most players, unless you do something dirty or say something that crosses the line, like talk about someone's family or something like that, I think most players respect their counterparts who are at their level. Like Bobby Wagner and DK are top tier players.
Yeah.
Right in their prime. Bobby Wagner is probably coming down a little bit, although still very, very good. I think he just broke some record for tackles, I think, or joined some rare group in tackles. I think if some no-name linebacker was talking to DK like that, they might have beef.
Yeah.
But I think they both respect each other enough, and they knew each other beforehand, where you go, that guy's really good at what he does. I'm really good at what I do, and we're going to battle, and we're going to talk some garbage to one another, talk some trash, but at the end of the day, we both respect what we do.
But also, it wasn't like they were like seriously yelling at each other at that game last year. It could have just been like, all right, I'm going to bust my friend's balls. And just be like, come on, let's go.
But yeah, I think most players, if you're at the same level, will respect the other player.
Yeah.
It's normally like if a nobody starts talking junk to, I don't know, a Tom Brady level quarterback, that'll probably create some problems because it's like, listen, man, slow your roll. But I think that's the last football thing we got.
I saw
that Apple Cup was insane, though.
It was insane. And I'll be honest, I hadn't hung out with my friend Lindsay, just the two of us, I don't know, in forever. And it was me, her husband, and her parents. And Lindsay and I spent the whole game talking and drinking. And, the guys in front of us were cheering for the opposite team, but, they were nice. So we were, talking to them, all married, because we're on the hunt for our friend Madison, for a guy. And Lindsay's like, do you have any friends who are unmarried over 6 feet tall?
That is such a weird... I would never ask...
No, but we wouldn't do this without Madison's permission. This is her permit. I would never. But she's like, yes, find me men.
I don't want anyone finding me anybody.
But we were like, oh, damn, they're all married. Okay.
Women are so much more involved in their friends' relationships than men are.
It's so much fun.
For example, I found out when I was at our friend Tommy's wedding that one of our friends had broken up with a girl he had been dating for, I don't know, a year, maybe a little longer. And I mentioned that to Carla Marie. I said, oh, so-and-so broke up.
No, you didn't, because I said to him, where's your girlfriend?
Oh, afterwards, I guess we were talking about it. Yeah, I wasn't gonna find out and then run to you and tell you. You asked me at the same event. It's not like I waited weeks to tell you. But then Carla Marie, after the wedding was over, was asking me oh, did you ask Richie why they broke up or what's?
I guess we're saying his name.
Why they broke up or what happened or anything like that. And my answer was no to all of that. He had mentioned that they broke up, and I said, okay, you good? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay. And that was literally our whole conversation.
Listen, I get it. There's a part of oh yeah, women want to know more or whatever. There's also the part of it is healthier to an extent to share some of these things, and men keep it all bottled up inside.
Yes and no. I think there are venues and there are places to do that.
I'm not saying that wedding, but you guys maybe should chat about it before.
No, I don't think so. It was pretty recent, I think. I don't know if everyone knew. So I asked him because he was there alone. He said, yeah, we broke up. And I said, all right. And I said, are you good? And he said, yeah, I'm fine. And I said, all right. And that was it. And then we had some drinks and talked about literally anything else.
Okay.
But what?
So so the game.
Oh, yeah. So you're trying to find your friend Madison a boyfriend.
Well, I was literally like, oh my God, Lindsay, it's tied and there's 3 seconds left.
It's a hell of a game.
And literally at that moment, UW kicks it and scored. And I was like, what a game.
Yeah, it's funny. I was texting Carla Marie because I was at the gym and I had the Alabama game on, which had national title implications. And then I had this game on. Yeah. And I was going back and forth at some point, but then the Alabama game got really good for the last 4 minutes. That ends. I switch over to watch the end of the UW game. I get on a treadmill because I just wanted to stay there until the game was over. And I'm texting Carla Marie, wow, this game's wild, crazy, and I'm getting nothing back.
Well, I also wasn't really on my phone.
And I was like, oh, she's got to be super into this game. She's got to be screaming her head off. Seems like you didn't really remember anything.
Yeah, go UW. I want UW to win, but also I didn't go there.
No, but if we each had to pick a team from the state of Washington, it's UW. We've worked with the team on different things.
Yeah,
we've gone to basketball and football games.
We've hosted there. I want, but I'm not gonna be.
I'm not anti-Cougs. which is the Washington State
I don't
Cougars.
know. I mean, like, those fans, they're like Eagles fans. They were just like literally, they threw for 7 yards, and the guy was like, whoa! And I was like, shut up. I literally was like, shut up, bro. Sit down.
Well, you have to remember that Washington's gotten all of the press this season because they've been so good.
Yeah, still undefeated.
And Washington State, as the rival, not a great season. They needed to win this game to be bowl eligible.
And they did not.
And they didn't.
So
So
Cougs.
this was a big game for them. They could have gotten into a bowl game and ruined their rival's season.
Well, they didn't.
They
Almost, though. I mean, it was
a hell of a
they
game.
could have. But I will tell you, the views from where I was, I saw Lake Washington
Yeah.
and the Olympic mountain range. Clear as day. Mount Rainier, a sunset, and the Cascade Mountains
It is
in a college football game.
it is the best setting in college football.
It's crazy.
When you talk about landscape, the structure of the stadium, where it's situated, all of that, it is without a doubt the best stadium in college football.
It's so cool.
It's beautiful.
Until next year, when UW goes to the banks of the old Raritan.
To the old ashtray where they play football inside of it. The stadium, I know it got a renovation. It's still kind of a dumpy stadium.
It actually is the same as UW.
In what
Except
regard?
we don't have that. We have the Raritan, not Lake Washington.
Oh, what mountains do you have around you?
None. I'm saying
what
in
volcanoes?
terms of the physical buildup of the stadium, it's the same.
Like the structure.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Yeah.
Don't you have a horse? Isn't yours a horseshoe?
I think they filled it in when I left.
So that it would be a stadium, a full stadium.
Yes.
So it would not be the same.
Oh, yeah, because they don't have it full.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I haven't been there in a very long
UW's
time.
got like the canopy part
we got
over it.
something. A little one.
I'm just going to look it up right now. Because
Shy Stadium.
I think you're talking out of your butt.
No, it's with the SHI,
Oh,
like
it is?
South Harmon Institute of Technology. Truly is what it's like.
Rutgers, let's see what this stadium looks like. Carla Marie. Oh, no, you are a horseshoe still.
No, it's closed in, I think, right there. Wait till you click it. They closed it in.
They closed in the bottom level, not the top level. So
Oh, yeah, it's only
horseshoe.
covered for that. Wow, it looks so cool now.
So it's kind of similar to UW. UW's a much better stadium.
Anyway,
I would suggest if you're a college football fan, book a trip early in the season.
where are we going?
To Husky Stadium. The sailgating, no one else is really doing that. I think Tennessee might.
Oh, well, there was a ton of boats on the water.
Yeah,
Madison sailgated.
I think Tennessee might be
landgated.
one of the only other stadiums that has some sort of like on the water tailgate experience. I could be wrong. Correct me in the chat if you know of others.
So next year, man, we should sailgate at Rutgers. Just like take
On
a
the
little.
Raritan?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
I've been
That's what I say. This is what Meg. I think I did say this or started to say this. Meg randomly said that her parents are huge Rutgers fans, but no one in their family went to Rutgers.
That's a weird school to pick because it's not good.
Okay, so next year the Huskies come to New Jersey to play my Scarlet Knights, and I'm hoping I can be there for it because I want to do a Seattle, New Jersey combined meetup.
Yeah.
I think it would be so cool.
That would be cool. Do you know what other West Coast teams are going there? I think UCLA might be going there.
I don't know.
Or
Why do I
Rutgers
care
is going
about
to UCLA. Something like
How
that.
cool would that be?
They,
It's so annoying that they don't tell us when.
When
Does the college schedule come out?
Big Ten schedule 20. What's the next year? 2024.
When does the college schedule come out?
The Big Ten announced a lot of their stuff already.
No. They announced the matchups. They didn't announce the dates.
Conference releases.
Because I don't find out NFL till May.
Oh no, you got dates here. Big Ten 2024 schedule.
Wait, I just saw. Oh, wait, what?
Rutgers.
I saw it. Oh,
You're seeing it on everyone else's
Let's go.
schedule. There we go. So Rutgers has Washington on September 28th, and then they host you. Yeah, they host UCLA as well. Oh, this is the game. If I go to a game, I'll go to this one. It's Rutgers at USC at the Coliseum.
okay, hold on.
Because I've always wanted to go to a game at the Coliseum.
It's really annoying because September 28th, then what? 2 weeks later, your cousin gets married. Then a week after that, your brother gets married.
Yeah.
I'm just going to live in New Jersey for the fall.
Go for it.
All right, I'm going to put this on here. UW at Rutgers. But I just have to wait till I get the NFL schedule.
That is a rough schedule. Rutgers is going to get smoked.
I don't know. Everybody's leaving UW.
Yeah, they're still a very good team. That's a tough schedule for Rutgers. I'll read it out since this isn't on the screen. Akron will be easy. Virginia Tech, they should win. I believe they beat Virginia Tech this year at home. Then you got Washington,
which is probably going to be a blackout game.
Nebraska, which Nebraska Rutgers should win at. So now I'm giving them 3 wins so far. They'll probably lose to Wisconsin, probably lose to UCLA, probably lose to USC. Most likely lose. Oh, they could beat Minnesota at home. Then they got Maryland, who they lost to this weekend. They're at Maryland. Illinois will be tough, and then at Michigan State they can win. So they'll maybe make another bowl with 6 wins.
Well, I would like to go to USC, but that is your brother's wedding weekend. So
yeah, I guess I can't go to that one. I do. I was talking to my cousin Rudy, who is also a college football fan and lives in LA. And my goal next season is to go to a game at the Coliseum.
I would like to do that. I would like to go to some college football games.
They're the best. And I do want to go to a game in Tuscaloosa. The problem is when teams are really good, like Alabama, they're hard to get tickets. And
I'm sure
I'd have to go see, I'd probably go see Alabama play like a nobody team. You guarantee a win, and you have a good time, and you see the Crimson Tide.
Okay.
Yeah, and When We Were Young Fest is that same weekend, but I think I'm actually going to be able to make it. I think since my brother gets married on a Friday, and When We Were Young Fest has a Saturday and a Sunday show, I think I can go to the Sunday show. I think I'm going to try to do it.
Wait, are they playing in Kansas?
Who?
Did you say that? Rutgers is in Kansas?
I don't think I did.
Why is Martha saying hello, Kansas? Did anyone say Kansas?
I don't know. Martha, you got to explain. I may have misspoken and said Kansas at some point.
Okay.
Oh, I think she's talking about Kansas football to go to a game there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I would. I almost went to Kansas last year to watch Seton Hall play, and I am sure glad I didn't.
They lost?
They got smoked.
Bad?
Yeah, it was bad.
Didn't you go to Kansas?
I've been to the state, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I went to go watch them play
God, that was
in their last
17.
Yes. It was the NCAA tournament. They had made it to the second round. They beat North Carolina State in the first round, I believe. And then they played Kansas in Wichita. And that was a very good game. Super close. And that was it. That was the last time we had a shot.
All right.
What else you got on your list, Carla Marie?
Okay, so this is kind of like a downer.
I think you're making this to be a sadder thing than it is. Because I think it's actually a positive. Now explain.
Okay.
No, explain.
Yeah, sure, it's a positive, but you weren't there.
Of course.
So you can't say that.
Explain.
Okay. So, it starts fun. My neighbor Olivia and I went to this like Christmas pop-up called Kringles. It's on Aurora in Seattle, like kind of the Greenwood area. It's so cute. Highly recommend going. This was Friday we go to this. So we do this little Christmas pop-up. The whole idea of it
Why is it a little Christmas pop-up?
Because it's small. The idea of it is that it's a Kringles fill-up station. And there's an old-time like gas pump and the hot chocolate comes out of it. It's the best hot chocolate ever. Okay. There's like skee ball, all kinds of things to do in there. So we're leaving and we're walking on Aurora, which is it's a highway. It's almost like I don't know. It's a highway, but it's not like a full, like a throughway.
If you're from New Jersey, it's very similar to like 1 and 9 in like the North Bergen, Jersey City area.
But you feel safer walking on the sidewalk there. Because 1 and 9 is like cars are whizzing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But same idea. Mm-hmm. And I turn to Olivia and I say, is that a towel in the road? And I was like, no, it's a stuffed animal. And then I go, oh no. I watched it like twitch kind of. And I'm like, oh no, it's a dog. And it's in the lane closest to the sidewalk, but it's the bus lane. Mm-hmm. And it's just laying there. And I'm like, oh my God. And I see cars. I'm like, I got to get it out of the road. I scoop it up. It's a toy poodle, I guess, or just a poodle. Not that big. I scoop it up and put it on the sidewalk and it's just laying there, but it's like trying to move, but not like anything frantic. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Olivia, call 911. And she's like, what? I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. And I was like, oh my God, it has a collar on. So I go to check its collar
Mm-hmm.
and it snaps and bites my thumb. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing that again. So I'm now trying to take photos of the collar from far away, like zooming in, but they're really worn out. And it was like, one of them was a dog bone. So its name, I think, was on the other side. And I couldn't see. The other ones were 2 pet hospital ones. So it's probably like rabies and whatever other vaccine it has.
Mm.
I don't know what to do. I start calling our contacts at Motley Zoo. So now they're like, I don't know the area, but this is what you got to do. You have to get it to an ER, like a pet. I was like, they'll take it? She's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
That's kind of their job.
So I tell Olivia, I looked it down at my thumb and it's just gushing. And I'm like, this is not what I need right now. I'm like, Olivia, go get a paper towel. And from Motley Zoo, Patty was like, get a blanket, wrap it in a blanket, like cover its head so it doesn't try to bite you also. I'm like, okay.
So you have to like wrap it like a burrito?
Literally, she's like a burrito. Just
really?
pretend like it's a vicious cat. You know how to do this. I'm like, okay. So the people at Crinkles bring us a blanket. I think we were probably out there for 10 minutes though.
Okay.
And Olivia's
That's
like,
pretty quick.
all these people were walking by and I was like, they didn't realize what was happening. They saw my thumb wrapped in a paper towel at first and I think they thought something happened to me. And then like as they walked by, they kind of saw this dog laying there and I could still see the dog breathing. But when I'm telling you, I'm like, this image, I will literally die with this image in my head, unfortunately. So, and to be very clear, there was no blood from the dog. Mm-hmm. I couldn't see anything broken.
Just you.
It seems like it was in shock because after it bit me, it just like kind of calmed down. I wrap it in the burrito. Olivia, I'm like, get my car.
The blanket like a burrito.
Put the dog in my lap. We get to Timberline ER in Pinehurst area.
Okay.
Which is actually the vet, I didn't realize till the next day, the ER vet that my vet recommends.
Okay, good.
So that was nice. We bust in the doors. I'm like, I have a dog. I think it was hit by a car. And they're like, triage. And they take the dog from me and they run. And they're asking me all these questions like, did you guys hit it? We were like, no, this is where we found it. It happened at whatever time. And I had to like fill out all this paperwork that it's specific paperwork for if you don't know anything about the dog or whatever. And Olivia had me mark off that maybe we would like to adopt it if you don't find the owner. Because she's like, maybe I'll adopt it.
Okay.
And then it was like, are you willing to pay? And I was like, no, I got to pay for my own. And then we're like, do you have any update on this dog? And they were like, no.
When did you say that?
While we're standing there, like,
okay.
Is it still alive? Like, we don't know. They're going to be able to judge it more than we did. We didn't like want to touch it as much. Like, we don't know. And she was like, unfortunately, like, I don't really know what's going on back there. We're like, okay. So they're looking up urgent cares for me to get to because they're like, you should go get your thumb checked out and properly cleaned. So Olivia and I go to Zoom Care, which is not really an urgent care. They're great. If you have one in your area, I highly recommend. They wash out my thumb. Turns out, I found out from the vet, them, and Motley Zoo that rabies in dogs is essentially non-existent in America now.
Really?
We've basically, I guess, eradicated it.
What about raccoons? They still got it?
Yeah, they still got it. So
don't play with raccoons.
What they are concerned about is tetanus. And I've had my DTaP or Tdap, within the last 5 years, and you need it every 10. So I'm good on that. I didn't need to get any vaccines.
Did they give you any shots or anything?
Nope. They cleaned it out a bunch. Like did the orange soap that they do before surgery. Yeah. She did that, and I have antibiotic that I have to take.
For how long?
At least if nothing is bad by tonight, which it's not, I can stop.
Is it bruised? I don't even look.
It's this is the most I've been able to move it. It was super sore, but you see the little. The problem is bleeding so much as it was my cuticle.
Yeah, I mean, if you pull a little.
Yeah.
Tiny piece of skin from that part of your finger. It'll bleed for like days.
So I call the vet the next morning and I'm like, hey, I brought in a dog last night. I got hit by a vehicle, I believe. I was wondering if there was any update. Mm-hmm. She goes, oh, was it the stray? And I said, no, I had a collar. She's like, oh, the German Shepherd? I was like, no, what the hell's going on?
There's a lot of dogs coming in.
She says, unfortunately, because you're not the owner, I can't give you information.
Okay.
So now I'm like, I get it. But dogs don't have HIPAA. Second, at this point, I didn't know anything that they knew who the owner was because couldn't really read the tags. And
well, if it had tags, there's a good chance it was chipped, right?
And 3, you have the balls to ask me on that paperwork if I'm willing to pay.
That is the messed up part. If you're willing to, well, maybe it's like a subscription service, right? Like if you paid, they'd give you more information.
Okay. So then I call again later in the night after the Huskies game when I had a little more to drink. And I said, excuse me, it was the same girl, Cass. She was super nice. She's like, what I can tell you is that we have been able to contact the owner.
That's great.
And I said, okay, if the owner, you have the right, I'm telling you right now, you can give my information to the owner in case they have any questions. Like, I don't know. I would want to know more questions, where you found my dog, all this stuff, whatever. So she's like, okay, thank you. We really appreciate it. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I know. But I did find out some interesting information when I got my thumb.
Which is what?
Taken care of. The Olivia came in the room with me, so we were asking like all the questions because I was obviously fine. So it was fun to like
the Zoom care.
Yeah, just to be with the doctor and ask questions. It's my favorite thing. And she's like, "Don't worry, like it's a dog bite. It's actually not that bad compared to humans."
Yeah, that's the dirtiest bite you can have.
She's like, if you get a human bite, you need to immediately go.
Yeah.
To ER, wherever you can. I was like, what's worse, dog or cat? She's like, cat. So
really,
in order of worst to best, it
minus
goes
venom we're talking about.
Human, cat, dog.
Okay.
So. But
like venomous snake is probably above human, I'd assume. Black widow spider.
Different kind of problem.
Yeah.
Though.
But we're talking non-venomous bites.
Yeah.
Human, cat, dog.
Yeah.
What about a bear? I want all I need a top 10.
Bear. No, shark's going to kill you before a bear.
No, a lot of people survive shark bites. They
don't survive bear bites.
They're losing limbs.
But why do they survive shark bites? The shark could drown them.
Because the theory is that the shark wasn't aware you were a human. They bite you.
I thought they were smart.
They bite you, and then they go, oh, this isn't the thing I like to eat, and then they go away.
So it's the same as if like I eat something I don't like on my plate.
Yeah.
But you're just
you
in
spit it
plate.
out. I'm pretty sure that's the theory. So,
okay.
But here's the thing: you mentioned it being traumatic and sad or a downer or whatever you said before you started that story about saving the dog, and I think you keep focusing. I know it because you saw it, right? You saw the dog in a very bad position on the ground, all that. You got bit.
I have a photo.
Right?
Do you want to see it?
I don't. But I feel like you're not focusing on the good that you and Olivia did. Like it's at the end of the day, you could have very well saved this dog's life. You got it to the right people. You saw the good part of humanity, right? Where you had help from Kringles.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
you had help from the Clauses. You took it to you had your Pete at Motley Zoo. You had the animal hospital. You had the Zoom care. You saw how everyone can come together. No, and you saw how everyone can help each other.
True. And I did have Pete from Motley Zoo, and she was hanging up with me after it was like very frantic on the phone with one another. She's like, by the way, this is major brownie points. Okay, bye. And I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. And I hope that like, God forbid, knock on, we got it.
This is wood.
No, this is not, it might not be real. It's from Amazon. I know this is real. I sanded it.
Okay.
If that ever happened to any of my cats or they were out, I would hope that someone would do the exact same thing for them. And I don't do that for that reason. Like I had so many people, like friends, family telling me to be like, people wouldn't do that. And I was like, you mean someone would just let a dog that they saw die in the middle of the street?
Yeah. Someone would. I mean, some people are also terrified of dogs. I don't know. I think also there were probably people that may have walked by that dog, but you also have to remember that people are also in their own worlds. There's probably a lot of people who didn't even notice there was a dog. They probably thought it was a wet t-shirt or something.
I did too, but head on a swivel. Always Park Ranger Marie.
Park Ranger Marie would have known how to heal the dog.
I did. Also,
you wrapped it like a burrito.
Are you forgetting that about Petey the pigeon? How I saw a pigeon in the middle of garbage and I saved it this summer?
We don't know what happened to the pigeon, though.
He flew, I
think. He could be pigeon soup somewhere.
Well, at least he wasn't run over.
Yeah. Why did we stop eating pigeons?
No, we're not going down this conversation. I saw someone say that I need to take a pet first aid class because they said because this keeps happening to you. I have the pet first aid app. I probably should have used it.
It's on your phone?
Yeah, but what am I going to do? Hit by car? It's going to say take to ER.
Yeah, probably.
They're not going to tell me to put a splint.
Probably. Let's see. Court in Columbus said, my dad, grandma, and I stopped and saved a dog in South Carolina once, and I can't forget it either. I'm not saying you should forget it. It's a big moment. Mm-hmm. But when you start off by saying this is a downer or a negative, I think it's the opposite.
It's not a negative. It sucks. I wish it never happened.
Yeah, of course.
But Also, right after the Petey the Pigeon thing, I don't know if I talked about this. I was in my bedroom one day. I had just got out of the shower, and I looked across the street, and there was a dog that was not supposed to be there by himself roaming around. I was like, oh, now what do I do? And I was like throwing on clothes, and I run out there, and it had just gotten out of its house. Everyone was like out looking for it, and I was like, it went back there, and they were able to get it. But am I asking for it?
Maybe. Maybe you're just aware.
I would love to be the person. I truly think that.
Wait, what did Lenny just say? I've rescued 3 house sparrows last month, 2 by my house and 1 by work.
That was a house, like someone's pet bird. And why are they all escaping homes?
I don't know what I would. How do you even rescue a bird? I know our friend Sam did that at one point. Didn't she like put a bird in a shoebox or something?
Wait for animal rescue.
Do you think there are certain animals when animal rescue gets called, they're like, oh, we don't need to save this stupid thing.
No, they take them off the street and they euthanize them sometimes.
Pigeon soup?
Because I found out, because we had that sick looking crow. Remember?
Yeah.
He's neither not sick anymore or he's not.
He's probably
with
gone.
us.
Yeah.
But I was like, what if this bitch has bird flu?
What was it? Someone messaged you and told you what it was, right?
Yeah, there's like certain, like it's kind of like
It's
a cold.
disease.
It's like a cold that they can get. And if
But
it's
it
really
mutates
bad.
their head? Because its head looked all weird.
It had like a cold sore.
I don't know. It head looked kind of
But
deformed.
you can call like someone, they'll come and take them.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I think he was fine. But
animal control, other than probably like dealing with rats a lot, it's got to be a pretty cool job.
Well, here's
Probably
the thing.
Some cool stories.
I think we need 911 for animals.
Okay. I mean,
500.
we can barely support 911 for humans right now.
I would sign up.
financially. So
I would sign up. House sparrows are little brown birds in New York City.
huh. And Lenny has rescued 3 of them in
Good job, Lenny.
the last month.
We should start a pet rescue. We really should.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Motley Zoo is a pet.
That's what they do, right? They rescue pets. I think we should just support Motley Zoo.
Yeah.
Let them
I
get-
did. For Giving Tuesday, I invited you to it as well.
I don't know what that means.
On Instagram, you can do fundraisers, but it let me collab with you. So it'll show up on your page if you accept it.
Totally missed that.
So
I'll
do
go
it.
into my notifications though.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I wasn't really on the socials last week. And I was pretty proud of myself. Oftentimes my phone was, I was reading, like I still read stories on my phone.
How many phones do you have, Anthony?
I have 2. One of them doesn't have a SIM card in it, so really I have one that works. But yeah, it was nice to kind of take a break from all of that, you know? But speaking of internet, social media, all of that stuff, today is Cyber Monday.
Oh, yeah.
What are you buying?
I actually did almost all of my Christmas shopping, which I've never done before. So keep in mind, this year I'm literally only buying for kids under 18.
Mm-hmm. What about me? Just kidding.
We don't buy each other Christmas gifts. I'm the only I think my niece is also doing this, but my family, if they think I'm like messing around, it's going to be real awkward on Christmas when they give me a gift and I don't give them
What
one.
about your parents?
I think I'm going to give my parents like a joint gift. They're my parents. Like, I'm alive because of them, I feel.
Yeah, the only reason, actually.
So, yeah, it's their fault. So
They should be paying you.
I know. I'll get them something, but that's it. Like, I'm truly not doing it, and I still just buying for kids under 18 and White Elephant probably spent $1,000.
That's probably low for a lot of people.
I know.
Which is crazy.
Do you know, and I need to really express the fact that I would have 30 people on my Christmas list. And what do you buy? Like, yeah, sure, there's gifts under $50 that you can buy people.
There are 2 things. First,
30 people.
There was some study that came out over the weekend about how more adults are asking to not be given gifts. So my brothers and I, and Carla Marie and my brother's fiance decided instead of exchanging gifts between one another, what we'll do is we'll all go out to dinner and then maybe do like karaoke or something afterwards. We'll have a night where it's just the 5 of us.
Yeah.
And with my cousins, who I also sometimes exchange gifts with, last year we did a dinner as well, where there was probably like 8 of us, or no, probably 12 of us that went out for dinner. I'm suggesting this year, instead of a dinner, we all go to a comedy club. Right? There's an experience there. Because at the end, I don't love when it just becomes transactional, right? Like, I know that you buy me a $70 gift, I'll buy you a $70 gift. You're an adult, you can do that on your own.
And here's the crazy thing is you don't see half these people at all until Christmas. So it's like, I don't even know what you like anymore or what you need. Also, Instead of spending that money on something I don't know that you like, let's spend time together.
Yeah. Especially now, I think I've become more, I don't know, maybe aware of the time I spend with people since I moved.
Yeah.
Right? Actually not most, all of my family is outside of Seattle. So when I go back, I'd much rather spend an evening at a dinner or a comedy club or a bar, instead of just saying like, oh, we'll meet up with all of our other family members, exchange some gifts, and everyone goes their way. So I think white elephants are still cool, right? Because it's like an activity that you're all doing together. Yeah. But if you can, I mean, why not share time?
Yeah.
Like, what is more valuable at the end of the day than time? Nothing.
I told my 2 nieces who are 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like, is separate. I'll take them. We'll go to lunch or something. Because when I don't spend one-on-one time with them,
it's funny.
Always a get together now.
I wonder, how do your parents feel about not buying gifts for people, though? Like, what does your mom say?
No, mom's like,
She
maybe
hates it,
I'll
right?
do it next year.
So my dad, when we discussed this plan with my brothers, he overheard us discussing because we were all in Aruba, and he was like, "No, that's a stupid idea.
Yeah,
you
he's
should
not
still,
even involved.
You should still get gifts for each other." And I think part of it is generational.
Yeah.
But the other part is
'cause he's a
also
jeweler.
my dad works in retail and in jewelry. The biggest season for him is Christmas. The last thing he wants is people not buying gifts. Although,
guess what? I wasn't going to buy anyone
Exactly.
jewelry.
I don't think any of us that were making this decision were thinking about buying jewelry. Again, my dad probably wouldn't want me saying this. I feel like jewelry is not something that you should be buying for just anybody.
No, you want it to mean something.
Like but that's what
But
people
how
used
weird
to
would
do.
it be if you bought a person that you didn't really know jewelry?
Very weird.
They would probably be like, "This must have been cheap because you don't really know me.
Yeah.
You're not spending money on me."
But it's interesting for a christening, for example.
Right.
Multiple people will buy very similar jewelry for the child who's being christened. It's like a chain and a little pendant type thing.
I did a heart bracelet from your dad.
It's like, how much jewelry does the baby need? None. The answer is none.
Her christening was in July.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it to her in May. And my sister still has never put that bracelet on her.
Yeah, because it's not worth buying gold for a baby. Like, unless you're Cardi B and you're doing it for your own Instagram, it's just not worth it.
But it was, I will say, La Mirage Jewelers has the one where it'll grow with her because there's little like hooks in certain spots. So it could be for her as a babe as she gets older.
Listen, I'll be very upfront. If you're going to buy jewelry, buy it for my dad. If you're going to spend that money, spend it with my dad. And I guess there is also, I will contradict myself here briefly. You can view it as an investment. The price of gold generally always goes up over time, especially if you're comparing from like birth to 18, 20 years old. So there is value there. The price of gold, I mean, let's just see what the price of gold over 20 years.
I can't believe the Rockers game.
What? Price of gold over 20 years.
That's 100.
Yeah. So let's say.
For what is that amount?
It's usually an ounce of gold.
An ounce?
God bless you, Carla Marie.
Thank you.
Let's see. So back in
1954.
let's go here. 1983. $1,100. It dropped in 2000, but now you're looking at $2,000.
What is that big spike left?
This one?
What year is that?
That would be 1980.
$2,000. Why?
Yeah.
What happened then?
The current price of gold as November 24th is $2,000 per ounce. So yeah.
I definitely have gold that.
So in about 20 years, 40 years, it's doubled.
All right, so I'm gonna come bring your dad some my gold.
You can, yeah.
Will he give me a good price?
He will give you a good price.
Okay. I don't know if I have real gold. How does he know if it's real?
There's a test.
Like a pregnancy test?
No, I mean,
You swab it?
kind of. You take a little piece. Usually, if it's like a necklace, you'll take the clasp or the lock, and you rub it on this black stone that pulls it, kind of files it
Is this
a
sorcery?
tiny bit. And then you take a solution and you drop it on that, and depending on what it does, you know what type of gold it is too. Whether it's
Could we do a straight?
There's also usually, and you can fake that, but there's usually a stamp on it as well.
Hold on. Could we do a stream? Can you get this sorcery stone, and we can test my separate, not like you know. That'd be so fun.
There's also diamond tests. There's like an electric diamond tester.
You just, so I can just go up to people and be like, is it real?
People, that's like a thing people do on TikTok. They'll ask if someone's wearing like a big chain. They'll say, hey, I love your chain, blah, blah, blah. And they'll pull out the diamond tester and say, do you mind if I test it? I think the Breakfast Club did that once or a couple times.
That would actually be so
Charlamagne
funny.
had the tester. Martha said, the only gold I have is from my mom who got it overseas when she passed. My siblings and I split all the gold. It was in 2 different lines for me to read. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people when they are selling gold, it's usually from someone's like estate, if you will. Like, oh, my aunt passed and left me all this stuff. Is there any value there?
So I'm going to go to an estate sale here.
You could?
Oh, your mom said that you have a bunch of baby jewelry.
I'm sure I do. I was the son of a jeweler.
That to Adriana.
Huh?
Could have given that to Adriana.
My baby jewelry?
Yeah.
But yeah, of course I had a bunch of baby jewelry because my dad was a jeweler and all of his friends are jewelers and my family members are jewelers. I can picture you just like Bruno Mars as a baby. I did remember when I was a kid, I had a ring that had an A.
I still have mine.
Just an A on it.
Well, I didn't have an A.
And then my dad used to have, it's like a ring, you can stretch out rings with it. And I thought that I could stretch it out and wear it when I was older. And I stretched it and the A like turned into just a line. So then I melted it down.
Mine's a little heart with my birthstone in it.
That makes sense.
But like
a lot of people do the birthstone. So again, if you want to buy jewelry and you're in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or Connecticut, feel free to hit me up. I'll let you know where my dad works.
Yep. Does he ship? He'll ship.
Yes, he will. He doesn't have like a great web presence, mainly because it just takes a lot of manpower to do that, and it's a small business.
I'm gonna take over.
Go for it. He'd love that.
Shopify.
I'm not sure he'd love working with my dad.
I'd have to be his boss.
He's a little scatterbrained. Very good jeweler.
Oh, really?
Not great with digital things.
That's my job.
Then do it.
I'm gonna do a whole photo shoot. I'm gonna get some models.
You know he's gonna listen to this and call you tomorrow.
No, I'm gonna get some models.
So, go for it.
Yeah, we all have communion jewelry. Megan said that she has.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Meg, not Megan. Has a ring with an M on it. But I have like 5 rings that are crosses.
I had a couple of cross rings as well.
That's what I'm
DJ
going to sell.
Synth said if you invest $1,000 in a bank CD note for 20 years, you'd have $2,500. So it's similar to gold. So buying gold for a child is similar to buying a CD.
Yeah. Instead, for Christmas, I got my niece a step stool.
Why?
I don't know. My sister wanted those ones that.
Oh, it's for your sister.
Well, no, it's for the baby. But
Where's she going?
No, it's those ones now that you like lock them in at the counter and they stand there and it's like how they help on the counter thing.
Okay.
So that's what she got.
So not really a step stool, more of like a platform.
Basically.
For the baby.
But it was on
That's cute though.
It was on her first birthday registry.
That's kind of wild, no?
Yes and no. Because there's probably gonna be 100 people at this baby's first birthday. And if everyone just goes wild and buys things, then you just have crap. Like at first I thought it was weird. Someone else did it years ago. And then I'm like, I get it. You're at least putting things on there that.
Why are 100 people showing up to this baby's birthday
party?
That's a
separate conversation. I'll get the full head count.
That's bigger than weddings.
I know.
100 people are really showing up to this baby's birthday?
This baby's birthday. Right? We're invited.
When is it?
Huh?
When is it?
In February.
Oh, I'm busy.
This baby's birthday is the same venue where your friend's wedding is going to be.
That's something. That is something.
Yeah. I'm the only member.
I don't want to make fun of your sister because I'm going to have to see her somewhat soon.
Do it. I did.
No.
It's where her bridal shower was.
That's crazy.
And her college graduation.
Okay, so then like all the family events are there.
None of mine.
It's just hers.
Mine are at the AmVets. My college graduation was at San Carlos. It is a banquet hall. But my Sweet 16 was at the AmVets, which I loved. I was fine with it.
Yeah.
My sister's was at where my college graduation was, and she had 2 dresses. Because MTV Super Sweet 16 came out in between, I believe, hours.
Yeah, but she knows all of those parents were rich, right? And famous. That's like the whole idea of my super. It's not that the kid had a bunch of money. It's that the parents were super rich. Like I remember the one episode I remember is CeeLo Green's daughter.
All those kids sucked.
So making a regular kid feel like they have to have that is
that show was problematic.
Wild. Great show. Great show if you're a normal human who realizes that is a somewhat unattainable goal.
Oh.
But
Martha said that's why I left New Jersey, and I'm not sure what exactly she's responding to.
All of the crazy parties in New Jersey.
So stupid.
All
It
the
is
venues.
so, don't even, here we go.
There's like a venue mob in Jersey.
Yeah, a lot
like,
of them are owned by the same.
It's crazy.
And
then a lot of people like you can't buy flowers outside of like these 3 flower distributors who work with them.
Cakes.
Photographers even.
Some do DJs too.
It's crazy.
No, I can't subscribe to that. I'm going to bring down the venue mob in New Jersey from
Good luck.
Seattle.
They're going to bring you down way faster, just so you know.
No.
Because
All
you're
my
going to set up
parties.
your first venue. You're going to get a visit from some guy named Bruno. You don't play ball. You're dead. That's how
I'm
that works.
sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah. And then they're going to call your dad and be like, we got to whack your daughter.
Okay, well, no.
Then he's going to call you and be like, Bruno called me. Why are you being an idiot?
Now that's ridiculous. You know you got to go to only Bruno. I don't know what the hell's the bakery that they all go to.
Bruno's Bakery.
No, if Michelle wasn't here, she would know the bakery.
Well, there's like a venue bakery.
Yeah, there's like 2. I think your brother and his fiance have to pick.
I mean, probably. They're probably forced into the decision.
I hate that. That should be illegal. How is that legal?
I don't know. Buddies? No.
They're private
Carlos?
companies.
No.
No, not Carlos. Not Buddies. Isn't Buddies and Carlos the same?
Oh, yeah, Carlos's bakery is owned by Buddy.
Yeah.
Was it Valvano? Something like that.
I don't know, but I'm telling you what, it's AmVets, Seattle or Kansas for me.
Buddy Valestro.
Yeah.
What did I say, Valvano? That's Jim Valvano, I think. I was thinking of the old college basketball coach.
I'm trying to see what the
Is it Callan something?
Palermo.
That's
one. Oh, Calandras. Don't even get. My dad loves Calandras. Got to get the bread from Calandras.
Where is Calandras?
There's 2 locations. There's one near or in Fairfield. But only the plain bread comes from Calandras. You got to get the sausage bread at a different place and a pepperoni bread at a different place.
Sausage bread? Not good.
Stop.
It's not good.
It's the best.
I don't know about the best. It's just not great. It's kind of like weird tasting. Oh, no, wait. I'm not thinking about sausage bread. What was that thing your parents had me eat that I had to tell them I didn't like it when I was over for like an Easter or something kind of recently?
Oh,
It wasn't sausage bread. I take it back. I don't think I even remember what sausage bread tastes
God.
like.
Some people call it Easter pie, but it's.
Very underwhelming.
Oh my God.
Because it was.
Wait, when you have a brain fart, that's happening.
I think it was also hyped up to me
It was.
for a while, and then I had it, and I was just
Oh, Pizza Gain.
pizza gain.
Oh God, I just called my whole family.
Pizza gain. And what is, for people who don't know, what is pizza gain?
It's got a bunch of kinds,
It's like a bunch of cheese,
different
right?
cheeses. So I know Regatta is one of them. And then it's got different meats. So
But it's like
Supersod,
baked.
and then it's got like a layer, and then it's baked. So it's like meat and cheese baked in. It is. You will be chugging water for days after drinking this between the cheese and the meat.
Like it sounds like you're making lasagna, kind of, but you're not because it's like
no
it's
sauce.
layers and baked, right? There's
Not
no
really
sauce.
layers. It's mixed. And
Oh, it
just
is.
baked.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just pass on that for the rest of my life. Basically.
Some people, I like it cold. I don't know if you may have had it warm.
No, I think I had it cold.
Mm.
Maybe I'd like it more if it was warm. I don't know.
Nara said there's a Palermo's in Ballard that makes a really good salmon pizza.
I would try it.
But that's a thing you could never say in New Jersey.
Oh,
a
no.
salmon
No,
pizza?
you'd get beat up. Yeah, you'd be in the river pretty quickly, swimming in the Hudson with your salmon.
Yeah.
I don't know if salmon swim. I doubt salmon swim in the Hudson.
No, just fish with 3 eyes.
But that's about it. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We are done for today. Right, Carla Marie?
Yep.
And we'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget there is a new episode of the Morning Show podcast that is available wherever you get your podcasts. And I'd say it's pretty good.
I put a link on my stories of some Cyber Monday deals that I put together. And then if you go to themorningshowpodcast.com, we have a lot of other deals that are still kicked off for Black Friday that are still happening.
And the one thing we'll definitely say is the deal you can get at Seattle Gummy Company is phenomenal. My mom bought, I think, total value $350 worth of things from Seattle Gummy Company and paid like $165 or something.
Because they're 50% off plus.
They're 40% off plus
40.
our 20.
So it's almost like 50.
So, and our code is code CMA. So remember that. If you need any info, you can message us. I'm at worst Anthony, not the, on Instagram.
I'm the Carla Marie.
There we go. And we will see you tomorrow. Peace out.